5 ways that I prepare our home for spring stock up. Hey everyone, every spring in March our family does a major stock up of the entire house. That way going into spring I'm not going to have to worry about running out of groceries or hair supplies, and what I do is starting in March and going through usually September, I'll buy groceries a little bit at a time each week to stock up for the winter time, because normally, unlike this winter, we usually have a lot of snow here and we need to have groceries on hand so in case we get snowed in. So number one is we have a deep freezer. And what I have already done, and I can't show you, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm not going to show you the inside, but what we've already done is last week we unplugged the freezer. It takes about 24 hours for it to completely cool down, dry out, all of that. And then like once it's all de-iced and all that, we dry the bottom of it. And then we close it with newspapers inside of it. The newspapers help to absorb up any extra moisture. And apparently, according to a friend who survived Hurricane Ivan, you put newspapers inside of a freezer when they have been off for an extended period of time, it will also absorb smell. So we start with defrosting this freezer and move anything we can over to the other freezer, which also means we've used everything out of here. So number one, we defrost this and try to use as much as we can out of here before the spring stock up. That way all of the food that goes in there towards when we need it this upcoming winter will already be fresher and not have like major freezer burn from like years and years of use or anything like that. I've seen people do that and sometimes that's okay, but we would just prefer to refill it as we go. And the reason why I can't show you what's inside of it is number two. So this is a box of canned goods that my in-laws sent over to just kind of help us stretch and get through until our spring stock up happens in March. But number two is we start looking at what canned goods do we have, what can we stock up on, what we do. And so we start taking an inventory of like all of our dry goods. Like I already know when I do spring stock up, I need to go ahead and get more all-purpose flour, self-rising flour, brown sugar. So I check everything. I check the spice cabinet, I check the canned goods, like any dry goods food, and I make an inventory of it, write it down on a Google Doc or Google Sheets, whichever one I prefer at the time. And we make a list of what we need and have those ready for when we do go shopping. That way we don't buy like 20 cans of green beans when we still have 30 at home. I don't think we literally have that much, but there is a can of them like sitting right here. So that was kind of my focus point. Number three is clothing. One of the things that we do before a spring stock up, and normally like mostly people focus on like just groceries, but one thing that we have found is spring is the perfect time to do an inventory of what clothing you have. So things that we actually start our focus on, and this may sound crazy, is we start with our swimwear. Make sure all of the girls can still wear all of their swimwear from last year, because when spring comes up, you start having more like spring break and summer clothing things that come up, then you need to start planning those. And websites may sell out of some sizes super quick in the spring. So we actually start with swimwear, and we start looking at, do the girls need more swimwear for this? Then we start with like essentials like undergarments, t-shirts, pants, socks, shoes, skirts, dresses, and also look at things coming up like Easter, banquets, things like that are going to need like dressier clothing. And spring, like I said, is the perfect time for us to do it, because we can say, okay, this winter clothing will not fit you through next year, which I have mostly teens now, but I still have one that has like some kids clothing size stuff. And I mean, sometimes even with teens, they still mature out of certain sizes. So like, it's still good to look at winter things and say, what do we need to pack down? What do we need to, while we're looking at the winter clearance stuff, what could we possibly get for next year? And also because like we travel pretty much year round, and sometimes we go to places in the summer that are a little bit cooler than what we're used to, we take long sleeve with us. So we also look at, do we still need more long sleeve while they're marking down all the long sleeve stuff in the springtime. Number four is shower essentials. And as you can see, I've actually already thrown the pump part of my shampoo off into the floor because I needed to get a shower super quick yesterday, and I just took it apart because it was running out. So another thing I do is I go to each we have 2 bathrooms, so I will go to each bathroom and I will say, does each I have 4 girls and every single one of them uses a different shampoo and conditioner, and sometimes it drives me crazy, but also I can say, hey, do you have shampoo and conditioner? And I can have each of the kids tell me what they need. We also add things in here like razors, Q-tips, cotton swabs, toothbrushes, toothpaste, which our spring stock up, I usually go ahead and just buy enough toothbrushes for because usually we replace them in December, so then we replace them at the end of February as well. So I'll go ahead and replace them at the end of February, which I'm fixing to do, and then I'll go ahead and buy the next replacement as well for our stock up, just to go ahead and have them. I'll also get to it in just a second, but I also buy it for another. So I actually buy 2 packs of stock up, and I'll cover that in a minute. Shampoos, conditioners, body washes, face washes, body lotion, hand sanitizer, the men's care products, toothbrushes, toothpaste, hairbrushes, cotton swabs, anything used for bathroom or personal care gets covered under our number 4 stock up. Lastly, for number 5 is travel supplies. If you haven't seen this video, I'll link it up here. This is our travel schooling bag. I may do an updated video on this this spring. I think I haven't done one in a while. I don't remember. I don't think I have. So this is our travel schooling supplies bag. I won't show you it because, again, I've already done a whole video on it. But basically number 5 is I will go through travel supplies. I've also made another video that I'll link up here as well of how we slowly, starting at our spring stock up until whenever our vacation is, we'll slowly stock up on little things for family for travel. So like I just said a minute ago, toothbrushes. I'm fixing to buy a pack for our spring, for our end of February change out, and then I'm going to buy the next pack to cover that. But I usually end up buying 3. So the one for February, the one for the April replacement, because we rotate them every 2 months, or you buy new ones every 2 months. And then I also buy a pack for just travel, and I will put them in that travel bag. Again, I'll link that video up here. One of the things that we do is we slowly start looking at travel supplies. So things on my list that I'll just go ahead and mention here that may or may not be on that other video is like, do we have sunscreen? Has it been recalled? And I usually, with us, especially since our cruise, we don't do any SPF under 50 and 70. And again, during the spring, people are going on spring break vacations. Sunscreen will go super fast. So we try to look at sunscreen. We also try to find like SPF lip balm for everybody. Everybody in our family uses SPF lip balm. But also things that are not in that video that I do is I will also make sure, like, everybody still has their own pool towels. Are the pool towel clips packed? And I'll check our like swimming bag. Like I said, there's other travel supplies and I could go through that, but like there's a whole video and it's a long video, so I'll put it up there. But yeah, so number 5, our travel supplies. So that's it, everybody. That's what we're looking at going through as we're preparing for the spring stock up. And we're super excited I love this time of year because it kind of feels like fresh and new and just a reset for everybody to be able to just check off everything that we need. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our members, and we'll see you next time.